never complacent. Put my foot on the pavement. In my dream I was chasing, while my girl waited patient. Spent a lifetime on this music shit, going nowhere, I was losing it. She was right there enduring this, while her folks like, why she doing this? But Shawty didn't care what nobody said. She was gonna ride to the day I'm dead, stay by my side when the others fled. So I'm convinced that she deserves it all. She believed in me when chances were real small. I picture me driving a foreign. Can buy. Her beauty represents me well. She loves me and others can tell. Her heart is where my love would dwell. Talk about her man and she would rebel. I ain't ashamed, this ain't a game. She was right there in the storm and the rain. Endure the pain and the financial strain. Now she gon' shine with the fortune and fame. She gambled her life for me. She sacrificed for me. She deserves it all. It's only right, you see. No matter the price, you see. I picture me driving a foreign. Me driving the front and now my history is changing. She's my day one and there is no rearranging. She's had my back through the times when things were straining. Now she benefits from every cent I'm gaining. Listen to what I'm saying. No dividing, no compromising. She gon' ride while I keep on climbing. Just recognize we gon' keep on thriving. She believed that I'll see greatness in due timing. I picture me driving a foreign. My shawty, she riding the passenger side. She riding the passenger side. 3 in the morning. 3 in the morning. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She was there from the beginning. In the beginning. There in the beginning. Pictured me driving in the beginning. A foreign with my lady. Foreign.
And as always, y'all, I want to thank y'all. Were y'all able to hear that introduction? Well, let's try it again. I think we had a little technical difficulty. Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is your brother Malik Truth coming to you live from BU Network. And as always, y'all could have been anywhere else, but you decided to hang out with your brother just a little while. So I thank you for that. Tonight's show is going to be amazing, y'all. I have an amazing local performer. And one thing that I love to do is I love to support our own, not our own just in skin and kin, but our own Vegas local resident performers, because they're the ones that work hard before us every day and do things in the community, while others of us come out. They don't spend time here in Vegas, but we come out in drones just to see them, when we should learn to continue to support one another who is out here as locals trying and working their asses off to make a living here in town. And all we have to do is find a moment in time, a couple of dollars, go support them. It's worth it. So tonight's guest is going to be amazing. I'm not going to say his name right now because I ain't ready to bring him in, because I have my tribute that I always do before I start the show. First of all, I thank God for allowing me the strength and the health to be here today. also the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and the jewels to give to you guys, something that's going to enlighten you, brighten up your world, make you start moving. You understand what I'm saying? So first thing I'm going to do, as always, is thank Natrell.com, the producer and owner extraordinaire, and Alex. Thank you so much for making tonight's show such a wonderful show. I know you're gonna do excellent. And where's that book at, gentlemen? Yeah, I'm gonna give you another one because this one is yeah. All right, so as you guys know, Malik Truth, I am an author, and many of you have supported me here in Vegas, and I love you for that. I want more men to get this because there is truly a design in dating, and that design is you. One thing you want to learn is find out what your design is. What makes you tick? What makes you engage and disengage in relationships? Where are the points that you actually fail, and learn how to use those failures as strength so that you can engage in dating a little bit better, reducing that collateral. What is that collateral? That hurt and that pain that you cause other people, which in turn you harm yourself as well. So we want to go ahead and move forward in that. So I want to say what's up to my mommy, Ruth Jenkins Washington. I love you, mommy, and thank you for always supporting me. My sister Amina for always looking out for me and support me as well. And my sister Cookie all the time for supporting and doing her thing. All my siblings, I love y'all, but y'all need to support me. All right. And that doesn't affect my love for you, but I want you to support your baby brother, okay? All right. So the Design, Date, and Purpose, again, as I had said, it's a book that's changing lives across the country. It's being read in Canada. It's also being read in India. And I want to encourage you guys to just go ahead and get your book. It's found at Amazon.com. And I'm going to always plug this sister. And she know I always do it for free because sometimes she hook me up with them candy apples. But y'all see this? Apple heads. This sister came from being fired from a job and using that moment in time to establish her own comedy brand and food brand. So y'all give it up for our sister Shannon the Queen, and look out for her because her comedy is gut busting comedy. I mean, she is one of the funniest sisters that I've known. Now, I've seen a lot of funny comedians. I've seen, Linnell. I've seen, Adele Givens. I've seen what's that sister, Camacho. I've seen her. But Shannon is local, and the sister is funny as all hell. So I want y'all to look her up. And again, that's Shannon the Queen, DAQUEEN. So we are going to get into the show. Once again, you are tuned into Malik's Truth Radio Show, and you could have been anywhere else again, but you decided to hang out with your brother a little while. Tonight's guest, as I said before, he is our celebrity. He belongs to us here in Vegas, yes. And he does his thing. Now, I'm going to let him tell you what he does. But my guest tonight on the show is Grady Harrell. Grady, what's going on, bro?
Hey, Malik, it's so good being with you, man. You're such a good brother. Thank you for having me on the show, and I love you. Just want to be on the show,
Love
man.
you back, man.
Thank you, and talk about some things that,
Oh, man, well, I do my studying too, man.
Yeah.
I do my studying, but before I get into what I researched on, why don't you just tell the people just a little bit about what you do here in Vegas?
Well, I sing and dance, and I entertain, and I love people. So I'm a people person, and I love people. So that's the main thing I do. I love people, but I grew up singing at 7 years old. So
Okay.
transported here to Vegas from Los Angeles in 2005.
Wow.
Yeah, and I've been here ever since, just doing my thing, man.
Just doing your thing. Now, we're going to talk about that thing that you do a little later on, but you can best believe it's not going to be forgotten, because definitely supporting one another is definitely something that I believe in, and I don't just speak it, I live it, I do it. It's all action with me. Solidarity. It's very important, and I do it. Because when it comes all down to it, we are all we got.
Yes.
And we have to learn that.
Yep.
emphatically, we have to learn we are all we got. So
as soon as we learn
yes.
that, the better it's gonna be. Man.
Come on,
Got it
sir.
right, yeah.
Come on, somebody. As soon as we learn that and not just learn it, then put it into action, we're gonna take our rightful place. You know, the Bible says that the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, but the violent take it by force. And that's what we're doing. We're taking our place back by force through education, in the entertainment business, through science, technology. We are doing it. We are doing everything that they thought that cattle couldn't do.
And been doing it for like over 100
You better
years,
say that.
You know?
You better say
It's-
it.
You know what's weird to me, Malik? A people that's forced to come to a country and continue to build and to produce
Yes.
and to do so many wonderful things that's been hidden for so many years. You
Yes.
know? I mean, a lot of our youngsters wouldn't even believe where a lot of the things came from that
Yes.
are now that we use
Now that exactly.
from black men, you know.
Mhm.
And you know, I'm not a racist dude, but my people were slaves,
That's right.
and
That's right.
you know, we come from slaves, but we managed to have that cat mentality,
Yes.
land on our feet,
Yes.
even though
yes.
everybody hates us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they talk
Even
about us,
ourselves.
but then they try to
Mhm.
be like us.
Yes.
They-
Absolutely.
You know, they want to dance like us. They
Mhm.
want to sing like us.
Cultural
They want to
appropriation.
dress like us. But
That's right.
you know, I'm just, you know, I'm preaching to the choir.
But that's all right, because some things need to be heard again.
Yeah.
And I believe that's what makes you such an edgy performer,
Thank you.
because you haven't lost touch with who you are and where you come from and the greatness that's inside of you. You
Thanks.
have not lost touch with that. And folks, that is why I named the show tonight Timeless Music. It is not the fact that the eras of music that influence what happened today. It's just that this man right here has been in the game for quite some time. When you guys see Las Vegas performers and they perform at his level, they have done something in the past, and we actually gonna get into that. But before we do, a lot of you folks know that I am from Newark, New Jersey. That is my hometown, the Brick City. I'm in love with the place. It ain't going nowhere within my heart. The only thing that I'm glad that's been burned out of my heart is the crime, you know, and the mentality of lowliness and that lowliness thinking. So those are the things that I'm glad have been burned out of me. But what I've learned throughout my time, whether it was criminal or non-criminal, I got lessons from them. And that's why I always tell you guys, don't be afraid of failure. Failure is one of your best lessons. Everybody failed before they succeeded, and that's the greatness in us as a people. Because when we thought when we were thought to fail, so for some reason we always rised out of the ashes. We always did like Maya Angelou said, and then I rise.
Yes.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
real talk.
So
That's
so
real talk, man.
so where you said you're from Los Angeles?
Yeah, I grew up at. I was raised. I was born in General Hospital downtown.
No
LA.
way.
Yes.
The same general hospital they made the story.
Yes.
Come on,
I
somebody.
was born and raised
General
there.
Hospital.
I didn't move out to Vegas, man, until 2005.
Wow.
And I thought I was gonna just move out here, do this little tribute
Right.
to the Temptations for the
Mhm.
Legends and Concert show for 4 months and go back home.
Right. And that's when it was on the Strip, right?
Yes. And man, I never went back home.
Mm.
And you know, I love LA, but it's too crowded. I went back there to do a corporate gig
Mhm.
just last Saturday in Montecito, California. And I
Right.
tell you, man, LA, I love it, but it's too crowded and it's too expensive.
It is
I
very
love
expensive.
Vegas.
And,
Yeah.
and believe that as ghetto as, and that, we're talking about environment, not just cliche, as ghetto as Newark, New Jersey is,
Yeah.
a studio is like 1,100.
Yeah.
And that's in the ghetto. And I'm going to say Springfield Avenue, Lyons Avenue, y'all, Hawthorne Avenue. Y'all
Right.
out there who know anything about Newark, New Jersey understand what I'm talking about. Yeah, a studio, bro.
Oh, I get it.
500 square feet.
Yeah, I was looking for houses today, man, and even in Vegas, they're going up.
They're going
They
up.
said it's gonna go back down, but you know, it is what it is. We
It
got to
is.
deal with it. You know how it is.
It is. I
the
tell you.
game. Yeah, it's the game, man.
Wow, man,
Yeah.
it is. And let me tell y'all folks, I've watched some of his YouTube performances, and the brother you see in front of you right now is not the brother on stage. The brother on stage is totally somebody. I mean, what is it about us performers that totally transfers us once we get into our element, man?
It's with me. It's the music. When the music starts, Malik, I change into a different person. I
Right.
can't even tell you what it is, and I tell people when I hear the music, I'm not just the Grady anymore. I'm
Right.
like the entertainer. See,
Right.
I'm Grady now with you.
Yes, yes.
But when I hear the music, everybody goes through my mind, from David Ruffin
oh,
to Jackie Wilson to James
Right.
Brown to Michael Jackson to Stevie Wonder. All these people, Donny Hathaway,
oh,
the Bee Gees, the Beatles,
Yes.
and I can go on, the Rolling Stones. They all embody me because I've seen them all
Right.
in videos.
right,
So I try to take from all of them,
right.
and I change into a different animal. And then when the music's over, I'm so exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta go home and sleep for like 2 days. Literally.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
After like a 2-3 hour set.
Oh no, not that long. Just
Okay.
2 hours.
2 hour set.
Yes.
Wow, you that exhausted.
I'm sweated out,
Wow.
and but it's a party.
right.
I don't go out partying anymore.
Right.
But my
The stage
party
is your
is
party.
exactly. I
Yes.
was telling my son
Mhm.
that my stage is my party,
Yes.
and my party days are over until I get on stage and I'm the Pied Piper.
Well, the Grady Pied Piper, not
Yes.
that other Pied
Yeah,
Piper.
no.
Yeah,
It's
he-
like-
when his horn blows, grown women come.
right.
When that other Pied Piper
Right.
horn blows, okay, I ain't even gonna say nothing about that.
yeah.
But yeah, that's how that's how we do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I've definitely watched some of your performances, man. I couldn't find the Soul Train one, but I did a little research. Again, I found out that you were in Los Angeles, and some of the research said that you started singing at 7. Some of the research said you
Yes.
started singing at 9.
Yeah.
But when you started doing that singing, let's tell the world. Let's date ourselves,
Yeah.
okay? I was born in 1970, so I'm 51 as of
Right.
today. How old are you, bro?
I'm 64.
Look at him once again. Go ahead, give him a close up. Black don't crack unless you smoking it.
Yeah. I like that.
I'm telling y'all,
Yeah.
man. The brother, he looked my age. I'm
Yeah.
51.
Wow.
You know what I'm
Thank
saying? He
you.
don't look like he in his 60s. I mean, he came in here with the silk shirt on with the chest all out, like he did about 100 push-ups before he came to the studio and shit.
You put the 20 on it, player.
But the brother looked good though, y'all.
Thank
So
you.
you got to
Thank
be
you.
happy about that.
Thanks, man.
And because the
Ah.
stage is your party,
Yeah.
the stage has also been, your cardiovascular
Exactly.
unit.
Oh,
You know what I'm
man.
saying? So
Yeah.
that takes a lot. Performance.
Yes, it does. It's you have to do something like walking every day
Mm-hmm.
or jogging. You know, I'm 64, so I don't want to hurt my knees. So
Absolutely.
I walk
lot of
like
impact.
miles a day
Mm-hmm.
and drink a lot of water and
Oh, yes.
take care of yourself because you want to be able to compete with the cats that's out there. You know,
Mhm.
and I've been singing all my life, so I'm gonna compete.
And then singing and dancing, that's a new
Oh, yeah.
that's a new level for some people.
Woo,
People
tell
don't
me.
understand
Yeah.
the breath control that it
Yeah.
takes when you're singing and dancing and still can sound good
Yeah, man.
while
Yeah.
you dancing.
Yeah.
People don't understand that, and I think again one of the reasons why I named the show Timeless Music is because I think the appreciation for the hard work and effort that went into developing an artist back in the day,
Yeah,
they ain't doing that no more.
exactly.
They just throwing them out there. They got a sound. Let's start making money.
Yeah.
Now we know that Berry Gordy, he ran his business like, an assembly line.
Yeah.
That's how he explained it, and it was depicted in The Temptations.
That's right.
Okay, so he knew what it he knew what it took, and still know what it takes to create a superstar.
Right.
Then today they're not worrying about a superstar. They just put them in the oven, microwave ready.
Yeah.
No work, no thought, no effort at all. Megan Thee Stallion is just finding herself now.
Yes.
Has been doing the game for a while, but has just now found who
That's
she
right.
really is.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
But I'm not taking away from them because they're getting there. What artists don't want to be on the level of Megan Thee Stallion or
Yes.
Cardi B or So many other, I tap my hat out to those artists, man, because they're doing what they love to do,
And that's what's
and
important.
they paying their bills, and they taking care of their people.
Thank you. And you let me clarify this for everybody. When I was saying that, I wasn't putting nobody down.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that no, they had no one to guide them
Right.
like back in the day.
Oh yeah.
So they had to try. Cardi B got hundreds of videos before she had that hit,
Yep. That's right.
and she was trying to find her sound.
Right.
When before she would have been able to be developed within that sound within 1 year
Right.
or less.
That's true. That's true.
You see what
man.
I'm saying? So
Yeah.
they don't have that direction no more. They're
Yeah.
out there full of this talent,
Well,
but
you
just
got
being
to think
thrown
about
out
it
there
like
for
this
money.
as well, Malik. Like,
Go ahead.
I give props to Barry, but a lot of those artists ended up broke. And these people now are taking their own finances into their own hands.
Oh man.
So it's changed over so much
Yes.
because a lot of the artists from Motown hated Berry Gordy.
Because of the money issue.
Yeah, because I love Barry. I love what Barry stood for in the community that we came from. But if you would ask a lot of the artists who are dead and gone now,
Right.
it's like Barry, did this, he did that. But Barry did what Barry knew best. And he brought us the beautiful black music
He did.
that we grew up on, man.
did.
Like, I can't knock Barry, but a lot of those artists didn't
Suffered.
get paid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now didn't Stevie Wonder did he not buy his masters after a while?
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Mhm.
And a lot of other people, Holland Doja Holland, they wrote
yes.
so many
Mhm.
hits from Motown. And that
Now
was-
didn't Ashford and Simpson write for Motown at one
Yes.
time?
yeah, gang of hits.
Yeah, gang
man.
of hits.
Yeah. And
Ashford
they-
and Simpson was a
yeah.
force to be reckoned
Of
with.
course, yeah, man. And Barry knew who to get. He had a thing for talent. He
Mm.
knew the writers, the musicians, the performers.
Mm.
Barry's a dude, man. I got a chance to meet him, and thanks to Robert Gordy. Shout out to Robert Gordy.
Right.
He's dead now. He died like a couple of months ago.
Wow.
That's my dude, man. And he
Wow.
took me to meet the chairman at the Motown play that was out here a few
Right.
years ago.
Mhm.
But Barry's the man. I ain't taking nothing from Barry.
Yeah.
I love Barry Gordy. I love Sherry Gordy and all the
Mhm.
Carrie Gordy,
Right.
Robert Gordy, all the Gordy kids and nephews and nieces. The Gordy family is a
Right.
dynasty of music
It
that
is a
helped
dynasty.
us
Yes.
to be who we are as a
Yes.
black people.
That's
you
true.
know?
That's true because so many of the groups have always attributed the way they sing and present, especially when you look at Boys to Men.
Yeah.
Michael Bivins wanted them to be that.
Exactly.
New Edition.
Yeah.
Maurice Starr wanted them to be that.
Yeah.
You know?
I started
Yeah.
singing because of one of the greatest Motown acts, Smokey Robinson.
Oh man.
7 years old. I heard, you really got hold on it.
Yeah, come
I
on
know
now.
you really got hold on. So I heard that and I'm like,
Right.
I want to be this guy.
Right.
7
Right.
years old.
Right.
And I learned his whole catalog of songs.
Wow.
And that's how I started singing, Malik.
wow.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, when we go backwards just a little bit, okay, we see that there was a group. One of their songs is "For the Lover in You."
Yeah.
Who was this group? And tell us what happened.
You mean the Isley Brothers?
No, for the lover.
I'm tripping.
in
Oh, I'm
you,
tripping. Oh, yeah,
baby.
yeah, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, man. This Shalimar, yes.
Yeah.
So, Shalimar. So, I'm with my group, Papa's Results, for like 6-7 years. My
Right.
sister and I, Delbert, Edmund, and Chris, and Brian.
Mhm.
And we were like, kind of like a Gladys in the Night kind of thing. We were
Okay.
like up and around Mavericks Flat. And then my sister got a chance to go on the road with Diana Ross. So she toured
Okay.
with Diana Ross for like 12 years. And then I get a call from Jeffrey Daniel. Jeffrey was in New York at the time. And
Just
Jeffrey and
skinny
I,
one from Shalimar, right?
yes, Jeffrey
Mhm.
Daniel, who
Mhm.
taught Michael how to moonwalk.
Okay, come on now.
So Jeffrey and I went to high school together,
What?
Dorsey High. And Jody Watley went to Dorsey High,
Okay.
California. Shout out to the
Mhm.
Dorsey Dons.
Come on, y'all.
So Jeffrey said, "Hey man, the original singer of Take That to the Bank,
right. Yes,
yes.
yes. Take that.
Yes, my dude, George.
That was the shit.
yeah.
though.
He lives here now in Vegas.
Really?
I'm
Okay.
tripping. My mind
Wow.
is tripping. George. Anyway, Gerald Brown.
Okay.
Gerald. A long time we've been together, been through the roughest weather, you and I. Shout out to Gerald Brown. So
Come on
Gerald
now.
quit the group
Right.
right in mid swing of that hit.
Okay.
So Dick Griffey wanted a new lead singer.
Right.
And Jeffrey and Jody called me. I'm at home doing nothing. My sister's in whatever she is with Diana.
Right.
And Jeffrey said, "Hey Grady, Jody and I, we want you to be the lead singer, but the final decision is up to Leon Silvers and Dick Griffey. Go
Okay.
down to meet Dick. If you're not here by Monday, you don't have the gig, right?" So I didn't even know anybody else was up for the gig. That is weird. I didn't know Jermaine Stewart was up for it.
Right.
I didn't know that Howard Hewitt was up for it.
Jermaine Stewart was up for the lead?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Don't let me take your clothes off. You don't
Yes.
have to take your clothes off, Jermaine?
Have to take
Yeah, clothes
clothes
off
off
to have a
to
good
have a
time.
good time.
Oh no! Yeah.
You stupid dude. Anyway,
Hell yeah.
we all danced on Soul Train together.
Yeah.
And Jermaine with Shalimar as a background singer.
Right.
On the road with him. So Jeffrey said, me and Jody had already chosen you in, but the final decision is Dick Griffey and Leon Silver. So I went down to Capitol Records, met with Leon. We rode around in his BMW at the time.
Right.
And we talked, and I sang a little something.
Mhm.
Then I rode around the next night with Dick Griffey.
Okay.
And he's like, sing a little something. And I sang a little something.
Right.
But I guess it wasn't good enough because Howard got the gig. Howard Hewitt.
But you know what?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something about that. We are where we supposed to be.
That's what I say. Yeah.
Bottom line.
Yeah.
We are where we supposed to be. And with Howard, we had some great music with Shalimar. Now,
Oh, yes.
the buck didn't stop for you there, though, Grady.
Oh.
Because shortly after that, something happened with some record company called Constellations.
Yeah. It's funny how things happen, man. It's like life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. So
Okay.
I meet this beautiful African princess,
Mm-hmm.
and from Gabon, and she takes a liking to my career,
Wow.
and she said, I want to manage you. I want to put some money into you. Thus, my first album, and she paid for everything,
Wow.
and she hired Fred Wesley, who was James Brown's trombone player.
Right, okay.
Well, see,
Come
growing up, I really wasn't a James Brown fan. I was into
Right.
the Jackson 5,
Mhm.
and shout out to George Livingston. George Livingston was one of the premier photographers for the Jackson 5.
Right.
But we have a kindred spirit. We got a
all right.
Jackson 5 club that we love them. And I was
Right.
12 years old when they came on the scene.
Okay.
I had been singing since 7,
Right.
and when I Want You Back came on the scene, I was 12.
Right.
And I'm like, kids are doing what I want to do. So I'm like, it put
Wow.
fire up under me.
Right.
So fast forward to when I lost the gig for Shalimar,
Mhm.
and I met Madame, or we call her Madame, and Madame Bongo. Madame
Wow.
Bongo.
Madame Bong. That's
Well-
she had a title.
Oh yeah, she's a title.
Ooh.
Yes, like serious business.
Wow.
And she
Big time.
loved my voice. She's
Mm.
like, you know what? I want to manage you, and I want to. She made an album, a whole album,
Wow.
put her money into it,
Wow.
made a video called Belinda, hey Belinda, oh
Right.
Belinda,
Right.
and she took it to Dick Griffey.
Okay.
I guess they made a deal, and he put out my first album called Moana on Constellation album,
Wow.
Solar Records, and it was incredible.
Right.
And I started doing all kind of different touring and stuff
Right.
off of that, and Madame was like really into my
Wow.
career. Shout out to Madame, thank you so much.
Yes, indeed.
And that's
It's
how
all
it
this,
really
yeah.
started my solo career.
That's
Yep.
excellent. Now, after that, how well would you say that project did?
It didn't do well.
Mhm.
Even though Lowell Silas did the remix,
Mhm.
I cussed him out, and he never forgave me for that.
Right,
I
right.
went into a club. I'll tell you, man.
But that's back in the day when we was using DAT.
Yes, but I tell you, Lowell Silas,
Right.
who was responsible for New Edition and Johnny Gill.
Right,
You know, rest in peace, Lowell. Lowell and I went to Mount Vernon Junior High School together. I walk into Carlos and Charlie's one night,
Right.
and it's a whole different groove on Belinda. And I'm like, I went up to him, literally, Malik, and I was
Whoa.
like, how dare you take my song? And he never forgave me for that. So when I needed a record deal, he never picked up the phone.
What? Man, but you know how we are. We touch about our stuff, man.
Yeah.
Our music is
Yeah.
our baby.
But
You
I
know?
look back, I wish I could have that remix that Low Silas did on Belinda.
Right.
You know, but he's gone now, so I don't know where it's at. But I
Wow.
always tried to apologize to him for going off
for that
on him.
moment.
But I had so much money at the time because
Right.
the African people, even though I wasn't making money in the music, they set me up so sweet
They believed in
in
you.
Los Angeles. They
Mm.
believed in me so well.
Yes.
I could care less about, people taking my African music
Right.
and trying to change it. Because I
Exactly.
wanted it to be African. Because
Exactly.
they were African and they wrote the beat, and Fred
Exactly.
Wesley produced it like he
Mhm.
wanted the African people
Mhm.
to sound. And we were
Yeah.
ahead of our time, but
It was. I mean, because remember, there were a lot of groups that used, that African influence.
Yeah.
I remember,
Yeah.
heck, all night long.
that's that album
You
you
know?
got now. That Moana album. That's my first album right there, Malik.
here.
Yep. Yep.
Wanna.
Yeah. And that was the one that she had Fred Wesley produce, and he
you
brought
was-
in
Okay, now
all the
let's
heavy
bring that
hitters.
back. How old was you right here, bro?
Hey man, that was in
Like-
1982, so
Okay.
57, 67, 77, 8, 9, 8, 1, 2. I was 24 years old.
24.
Yes.
Wow.
And if you look at all the credits on that, Nate Watts on bass, Ralph Johnson, who plays with Earth, Wind and Fire on drums, Denzel Washington's wife, Pauletta, was singing background on there.
No way.
If you look at those, if
I
you
gotta
look,
see the
it's
credits.
incredible, man.
Wow.
The credits on there, I didn't even know half those people.
What?
They were all big time people
Now,
in
was
Hollywood.
was she married to Denzel
Yes,
at the
they,
time?
they were married at the time. Yep, Pauletta Williams. Is the credits on there?
Wow. Let's see. No,
Oh,
the credits ain't on this one.
They're not on that one. Okay, okay. So the
But
one
you
I
could
have.
always bring it up online.
Yes.
And yeah, so in that one, which one did she sing background on?
Oh man, she sang back. Pauletta sang back on like 3 or 4 tunes.
All right. So this is the back of it, y'all.
Yeah.
And this
Son.
this man is the real deal. We were in the green room and we were discussing a lot of things. And one thing that he tripped me out on is when he and his sister were performing and they got to meet the GWOAT, the queen.
Oh yeah. Oh goodness.
Tell him about that experience.
Wow, man, this is so crazy. So, I guess we were performing at some club over in Los Angeles, California, and Carolyn Franklin, the sister of Aretha Franklin, saw us perform. So she's like, "I want to manage you guys, me and Aretha." So we signed a contract with Aretha and Carolyn Franklin, and they got to managing us, trying to get us a record deal. Even though nothing came out of it,
Right.
we had a chance to perform at Aretha and Glenn Turman's
Wow.
wedding at the Beverly Hills Hotel in like 1979, I think.
Wow.
And we opened up for the Four Tops because Aretha's favorite group was the Four Tops. And I got this article on the paper that when we signed with Aretha, they
Right.
had this article. I was trying to look it up on my phone for you,
Okay.
and it's in black and white, but it's faded out. But you can see it's Aretha Franklin
Right.
and me and my sister, and
Right.
we were Papa's Results at the time.
Hey, I would have kept that too, man.
Yeah, and I would go to her house in Encino, California, because I was
Right.
really good friends with Eddie Franklin at the time.
Okay.
And we'd hang out, and Aretha would be there just playing piano all day. And then
Mhm.
she'd get up and go to the kitchen and eat something and come
Wow.
back and play the piano. And
Wow.
Eddie and I were, shout out to Eddie Franklin, one of my good friends. He's in Detroit now. And we were good friends. And Eddie Franklin, this one story that stands out with me about Eddie, Malik, is that
Okay.
Aretha got of course, she got a lot of invitations to go to parties.
Mhm.
This one particular party was from Sammy Davis Jr.
Oh.
And,
Okay.
so Eddie's like, "Mom don't want to go. Grady, you want to go with me?" So I'm like, "Of
Heck
course."
yeah. What you think?
I went to Sammy Davis Jr.'s house, as God
Right.
is my witness.
Right.
Me and Eddie up in the Hollywood Hills.
Right.
And I saw so many stars that you see on TV.
Right.
This little
Blew
black
your
boy, me,
Yeah.
I'm tripping.
Right.
David Jansen, The Fugitive, Frank Sinatra, all these
Wow.
people are like holding court with Sammy Davis Jr. And I'm just
Wow.
laying back. I'm like, So that was
That's
the most.
beautiful.
I've never got that much star-studded until I met Michael and his brothers, and
Right.
yeah,
And that's a beautiful thing, man. Because I think one of the greatest things that we have to learn is resilience.
yes,
That even though you were not chosen for Shalimar, you were still chosen for other things
yeah,
that he never experienced.
exactly,
Because his experiences was supposed to be within that life,
yeah.
and your experiences was supposed to be in a life that was garnered for
Howard got his blessings.
you. Yes,
And
you got
and
yours.
he still got his. But I love Howard and Jeffrey and Jody and
Right.
Carolyn Griffey, who goes out now. Carolyn and Jeffrey and Howard, they go out together. Shout out to Shalimar. I always talk to Howard about that, and Howard ran into my son Grady about 3 months ago, and he's like, "Yeah, me and your dad had a friendly competition, but I got the gig." And
He got
I
the
tell
gig.
you, Howard,
Right.
my voice was at that time. My
Right.
voice was never on a level as I listened to those
Wow.
Shalimar songs. No, I wasn't on that level at that time.
No kidding.
No way,
He
no how.
gave them he gave them a sound. He
Woo.
brought Shalimar back to life.
Yes, he did.
And from what was depicted on that VH1 special, he and Jody didn't get along for a long time.
See, I don't know about that, about none of that. I
Okay.
just love them all,
Right.
and because I wasn't there, so I
Right.
can't speak on it.
Right.
So, but I love them all, man.
Right.
You
And
know?
that's a beautiful thing. That's
Yeah.
that's one thing we have to learn how to do. Y'all learn how to keep things friendly competition, because the bottom line is there's enough for all of us to eat.
Yep.
Bottom line, not one of us can have it all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So even Jay-Z at his billionaire status, he and Beyonce, they still bring people aboard. They still bring the greatness out of people because they know what it took to get to that level.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And even when people ask me, about Malik, I'm having a little trouble with this, with my book. I'm having a little trouble with that with my book. I'm more than happy to give them, some pointers. But there's a fine line between, free information and paid information. And we as a people, we still have to learn how to separate those. But I am definitely willing to open my heart to someone to get them on the right path. Now, in order for me to guide you down that path, then we're going to have to start, talking money. Okay, so now paper got to come in. But the thing is they respect that.
Yeah.
And what you do when people see you perform, you never know who's out in that audience that might want to pull your coattail and say, "Hey, man, how can I do it? How
Yeah.
do I do it?"
Well, it's funny, man, because I've been in the music business for 45 years, maybe
Man.
50. I've never had a number one hit record, but I love the music business. And music is, you just got to love music. You have to want to perform in front of people. That's my
Yes.
main thing, performing in front of people.
Yes.
And it's really weird how the Jackie Wilson thing got dropped in my lap, because
Wow. Yeah. Talk
back,
about that.
back in 1992, I was taking all my kids on the auditions,
Right.
and then Jermaine Jackson out of the Clear Blue said, "Man, you look like Jackie Wilson. Do you do you know any of his songs?"
Right,
And
right.
I lied and said yes. Right.
Of course, you have to.
So he said, "Okay, well, be prepared tomorrow to come down and sing one of the songs." So I went down the next day, and I said, "Your love lifting me higher." And so I sang that in front of Miss Jackson,
Right.
Michael's mother, Jermaine, his wife at the time, Margaret, and the director.
Wow.
And I got the gig. So
Wow.
that gig,
Congratulations.
that show premiered in August, I think, of 1992.
Okay.
And after that, people started calling me all over the country to do a tribute to Jackie. So I had to learn his whole catalog.
Right.
It was crazy,
Right.
Malik, and
Wow.
I'm still making a living doing. So whatever you do in the music business, you don't have to
Yes.
have a number one hit. You don't
Right.
have to be on the radio all the time or have videos on YouTube.
Right.
As long as you performing in front of people and doing
Yes.
something you love to do, and
Mm.
and you're able to pay the rent, that is
Yes.
such a blessing, my dude.
To do what you love to
Yeah,
do,
man.
and still be able to pay
That's
your
what
bills.
I'm doing. I'm not
Mhm.
rich, but
Right.
I go out and work on the weekends.
Yes.
And I come back home and I take care of my 81-year-old mother, and it's such a
Right.
blessing.
Amen.
Yeah, man.
Amen.
So-
Amen. Now, before we go on a break, actually no, we're gonna take care of that when we come back. We're gonna talk a little bit about the second album that came with when you signed with RCA.
Yeah.
So y'all, so far We've been having a fantastic show. Hopefully, you've gotten a lot of information, a lot of things that you may not have known about our brother Grady. You know about him today here on the Malik's Truth Radio Show. Stay tuned. We will be coming right back.
Turn heads when she walking. Superstar paparazzi start flocking. As the beat starts knocking, shorty hit the dance floor, ass start dropping. She's truly independent. She's grinding and she's winning. The other girls pretending, not stopping till she fending. She ain't got no man unless you got them bands. You ain't got no chance. Why these hoes be hating? The drama they're creating, but it ain't even phasing you, cause you're amazing. In the thousand and ass so fast, so fast. When you get attention, when you walk by, don't say nothing. They're jealous, yeah. They be jealous. Them hoes so jealous. They be jealous. She like the room when she enters, everyone's attention, she is the center. Fellas double take when they see her, watch her transform as the beat hits the speaker. Shawty ain't no average chick, unless you coming with those bands, no she's not having it. No. She ain't got no man, unless you got them bands, no. Why these hoes be hating? The drama they're creating, but it ain't even phasing you, cause you're amazing. Yeah. So fast, so fast. When you get attention, don't say nothing. You're jealous. They be jealous. These hoes so jealous. I know you see them hoes barking over there, cause everybody in the club stop and stare. Them thick thighs and the ass Ric Flair. Please remind them as you walking over here, just pop it and lock it, then drop it, don't stop it. You the hot topic, they know you got options. They jealous, it's toxic, they harmless, no caution. Just do it, go do it, do it. Clap for me, mommy, clap, clap for me, mommy. Make it boom back for me, mommy. Frame on time, hourglass type of body with an apple bottom. She don't need jeans for it only. Shake what your mama gave you. Shake, shake, take it all, money make good. Take, look at they faces, the wrinkles, they stressing, rebellious. No, they jealous. Why they so mad though? Got it like that. Yeah. When you get attention. These hoes is so jealous. They be jealous. Them hoes so jealous. They be jealous. These hoes so jealous.
Ready to rock? Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is your brother Malik Truth coming back to you from our short break. I appreciate you guys hanging in there and still sticking in there, hanging out with your brother for a little while. Greatly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate it. Your support has always been great. And as you guys know, I got my sponsorship proposal done, so I'll be calling on a lot of y'all folks that said that you would support the radio show. So I'll be having your emails and I'll be shooting you the proposal. So definitely Malik's Truth Radio Show definitely survives with your sponsorship. So I definitely would appreciate your further support with regards to that. Now, if you're just tuning in, I have on the show with me Grady Harrell, who is one of Vegas's top performers here, and he does an act where he tributes to Jackie Wilson, Sam Cooke, and a couple of choice others that I'll let him talk to you about. Now, before we went on break, we discussed a lot of Grady's back life with regards to him growing up in Los Angeles, singing ever since he was 7. His family bringing him to, different, I guess, preparing his voice for his stardom, meeting so many different celebrities growing up, having not gotten a spot in Shalimar, but that right there leading him into other things in which enhanced and enriched his life. Now that we have returned, we were talking about a record that he did on Constellation Records, and later he landed a deal with RCA. So let's talk about that one, Grady. Let's talk about that deal that you landed with RCA.
Well, so I met two of the baddest musicians in my life. Shout out to Nathan Watts.
All right.
Been with Stevie Wonder for over 40 years, and James Allen. So they wanted me to sing these demos,
Okay.
and I didn't know what house we were going to in Pasadena. Late at night, at 2 a.m, we'd be singing these demos, right?
Wow.
For them to try to pitch it to other artists. Found out it was Tina Marie's house.
What?
So she came in, Pasadena.
What?
I mean, man, you can't write this. So Tina, woke up one morning, and she's very good friends with Nate Watts and James Allen, and so she came in the studio one day. I'm like, God, that's Tina Marie.
Right.
Anyway, so I'm recording all these songs, and they were great songs, and I'm putting the vocals on them.
Right.
And then a friend of mine who I went to high school with, one of my best friends, Andre Cleveland. Shout out to Andre
Shouts out.
Cleveland. He took these demos. He
Right.
said, Grady, these demos are incredible. I'm going to take them to Eric Nuri.
Right.
Eric Nuri was in charge of A&R at RCA at the time. Eric Nuri right now is married to, I'm tripping. My mind is.
You got it.
She
You got it.
wrote.
Take
She
your
wrote
time.
Man in the Mirror.
Wrote Man in the Mirror for Michael?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, he's married to my girl. I'm tripping.
You know what? I'm about to Google it,
I'll
man.
get.
Okay.
It'll come on me.
Okay.
But Eric Nuri,
Mhm.
before he married my girl, he was the man in charge. So Andre Cleveland took my demos into Eric Nuri, and he said, "Hey,
Saida Garrett.
Saida, yes,
Saida Garrett.
yeah, he's now
Yeah.
married to Saida. He
All
manages Saida.
Okay.
Shout out to Saida and Eric. Anyway,
Right.
so Eric was in charge of A&R at RCA Records, right? And so he heard my demos, and Andre said, not only can you sign Grady, but I already have a personal agreement from Stevie Wonder. If you sign him,
Wow.
Stevie would agree to produce 2 tunes on Grady's album. So, of course,
Whoa.
Eric Nuri, being the businessman he is, jumped
Right.
at that.
Of course.
And that was my first record deal, 1988 with
Mhm.
RCA Records. Big money,
Yes.
and it was incredible.
And those are the days where, again, we were talking earlier about where they develop the artists.
yes,
Yeah.
Well, they didn't. Malik, I got to tell you, they didn't develop it like Barry Gordy did, because
Okay.
if they had have done that,
Mhm.
I would not have just done 2 albums with RCA.
Right.
I'd have been probably rich by this time.
Wow.
Because the first 2 albums, anybody
Right.
like those first 2 albums, you got them there, right? Show 'em.
I do.
Come Play With Me.
As a
album.
matter of fact, Alex, we're gonna go ahead and go to those pictures right now. We're gonna go ahead and go to Come Play With Me. Well, didn't you
Yes.
make Romance Me first?
I made Come Play With Me with
First?
Stevie
Okay.
Wonder producing 2 tunes.
Okay.
Me and Tyler Collins.
All right. Go to
Did.
that one, Alex. Go to Come Play With Me.
Yes, Come Play With
There
Me.
you go.
That's
It's a little fuzzy, Alex. Is that
That's
just our screen?
Romance Me. That's the second one with RCA.
Yeah. That's the second one.
And
Go
that's
to the one on the
that's
motorcycle.
the first one.
Yes, that one.
And that produced a song called "Sticks and Stones," which went number 4 on the
Oh.
R&B charts.
Come on now.
Now, the backstory behind that is Bob Buziak, who was a president of RCA at the time.
Mm-hmm.
He did not want "Sticks and Stones" to be the first single. He wanted "Fun," which was the second single, to be the first single.
Right.
And we like, nah, man. This is the one where I was really trying to emulate Sam Cooke.
Right.
And we even had the Soul Stirrers. If anybody knows about
Wow,
Sam
the
Cooke,
Stirrers?
yeah,
That's the gospel group.
yes, they were singing background on this tune.
Wow.
So I was trying to emulate Sam, and Andre knew that. Andre and Daryl Ross, my friends from Dorsey High School, they both wrote this song because they knew how I love Sam Cooke. So they wrote it. I would rather be lost at sea, away from dry land. And so they wrote that in the tune of Sam Cooke. And then he said, what better thing to do to get the soul than to get the Soul Stirrers? So we went to New York to do this song, and the last member of the Soul, JD, got JD's last name. He was an old man at the time in 1988.
That's all right.
But
we can Google that too.
yes, yeah, exactly. But we had such a good time at singing all the Soul Stirrers gospel tunes, and I was singing lead, and we had fun riding in the van into the studio. So we did that. Bob Buziak did not want Sticks and Stones to be the first single, but he said, okay, I'll listen to you guys. If Sticks and Stones it hits the top 10 on R&B, I will cross it over to the pop charts.
Wow.
And he lied. It got to be
It
number
hit
four.
Number 4, and he didn't do what he said.
He didn't. So he said, okay, next album we're gonna blow you up with "Come Play with Me" and yada yada. Don't never trust what record company executives say, ladies and gentlemen.
Y'all hear that?
They don't ever trust what they say. Manage your own career. And I guess, the day of the record company is gone anyway, which is a good thing. It's good to have them right now, but they just jump on the bandwagon when they see you making money.
That's all.
That's all. But at that time, 1988, the album came out. They didn't even push the song that Stevie Wonder wrote on me or wrote with me and Tyler Collins. So I'm so sad, man. I'm so sad at the time. It's like, when you're young, you buy into that stuff,
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
I'll never buy into that stuff anymore. So the next album came, Romance Me, and you see the cover. We was ready to rock, and the album was better than the first one. And I think that the first single, which was "Don't Turn Your Back on Me," a beautiful video, it didn't even hit. I think it went to number 28 on the R&B charts. So it was a big letdown, and I was disappointed, but whatever.
But you kept pushing, and that's the thing. Now tell us about the spot on Soul Train. Go ahead and show that picture, Alex.
Yeah, well, with Sticks and Stones, I was doing so many shows. Yo MTV Raps, but Soul Train was my feather in my cap because I was a dancer on Soul Train back in the 70s. So when I did Soul Train right there, like all my people were still dancing on Soul Train, and we were family anyway. Because I used to be down there dancing, so it was like I came home again, and it was so wonderful.
That's beautiful
to see Don, because Don used to see me on Soul Train, taking all the girls away from him at the time. Oh, he hated that. No, I'm just
well, don't they? Was that part on the 5 Heartbeats?
Yeah.
I can't stand it. You taking all the women, Duck.
Right. So it was crazy going back to Soul Train and seeing Don doing his thing and being honored to be on Soul Train again. It was crazy, man. I loved it.
Beautiful.
It was wonderful.
That's beautiful. Now, fast forwarding today, because that hour sometimes doesn't do much justice when I'm really getting involved in the topic, and I guess today we have Solid Gold Soul.
Yeah.
All right, Alex, go ahead and put that up, please.
Yeah. And we're gonna be at
Solid Gold Soul.
Oh yeah,
and that's on the 4th, right?
September 4th at 7:30 at the winery in Henderson, Nevada. So we're gonna be there. Me and Debonair and Pete Peterkin and my girl Victoria.
She does Dionne Warwick, right?
Yes. So it's gonna be it's gonna be so beautiful, man. And we're gonna be back together. We did a show on the Strip for like 2.5 years, almost 3 years. And so we're going to be there. because a lot of people want this show to come back on again.
Right.
And so we're going to be there. So everybody come out September 4th to the Solid Gold Soul reunion, and we're going to do our thing for you.
Y'all hear that, y'all? Solid Gold Soul reunion. Now, is that like a a branch off of the Legacy performance?
Well, it's the same thing.
It's the same thing,
I'm going to
okay.
do my tribute to Jackie Wilson and Sam Cooke. Debonair is going to do James Brown. Pete is going to do Ray Charles. We're all going to get together and do the Four Tops and the Temptations with Vernon Taylor, Sam Thomas, and Claude Barnett. And
who's going to be David Ruffin?
That's going to be Debonair.
Debonair,
Yeah,
okay.
he loves being David Ruffin, and he loves doing.
I know you wanna leave me.
That's my dude. Yeah, he's gonna do his thing, and Gloria.
Yeah.
I mean, Victoria's gonna do a Dion. It's gonna be beautiful, man.
Man, and you know one of my favorite songs from her is Alfie. As old as that is.
Yes.
As old as that is.
Yes. Victoria does that beautifully.
I'm
Shout out to
looking forward
Victoria.
I can't wait for that to happen. Now we got a little clip, because like I said, y'all, Grady here in the studio is soft spoken, kind of laid back, but when he's at his party, which is the stage, totally different brother. And Alex, if you can cue that video up, man, that would be great.
Jackie Wilson, everybody!
Lifting me higher than I've ever been lifted before. So keep it up, quench my desire, and I'll be at your side forevermore. You know your love keep on lifting me high, higher, higher. Said your love lifting me higher, higher. Now once I put down a party, disappointment was my closest friend. But then you tricked me to the party, and you know he never showed his face again. That's why your love keep on lifting me high, higher, higher. Said your love lifting me higher, I'm so glad I finally found you. Yes, that was in a million girls. And now with my loving arms around you, I can stand up and face the world. That's why your love keep on lifting me higher, higher, higher. You know your love keep on lifting, keep on lifting, Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Barry Gordy wrote this for me. Deal!
Hey, what's going on, y'all? How did y'all? And then that's just a little taste of what he does on. That was just one song, y'all. Hitting them high notes. Man, I ain't even gonna attempt it.
Yeah, Thank you.
Ooh,
Thank you,
man,
Thank you.
when you said that the stage is your party zone,
Yep.
you were having a party up there, Grady.
Thank you.
Mm,
Yeah, man. I love representing Jackie, man. He was one of the baddest in the
Yes.
business. Him and Sam Cooke and
Mm.
James Brown. I love those cats, man. It don't get no better than that. And
Don't.
Michael Jackson said the same thing. He used to, uh, copy off of those cats.
Yes.
All those cats, and so.
That's where he got a lot of his
That's right.
dance influence.
Oh, he was the best thief in the business.
He wasn't he? Where he
Yes.
got a lot of his wrist from.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Michael.
definitely. But
Yeah.
the thing about it, he was like Luther.
Yep.
He made a song his own.
That's right. Yep.
And Aretha,
Yeah.
when she did what was it, Otis's
Yes.
song,
Respect. Yep.
and just you never even knew.
A lot of people don't even know Otis Redding wrote that.
Ain't that something?
That's right. Yeah.
Performed it, and then
Yeah.
she just, according
Yeah.
to the movie, loved the song and said, let's redo this thing. And
Otis loved receiving those royalty checks.
I know he sure did.
Yeah, man.
I know he sure did. And
Yeah.
that's another beauty about the music business, that when you are multi talented and your gifts flow, you get money. I mean,
Yeah.
look, who brought the Isley Brothers back? R. Kelly.
R. Kelly. That's right.
He brought the
Yeah,
Isley
sure
Brothers
did,
back.
Sure
You know what I'm
did.
saying? Who brought Rick James back? MC Hammer.
MC Hammer. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when you out there and you grinding, you doing what you're supposed to do, eventually it's gonna all come back to
Yeah,
you.
good music never dies, man. Yeah.
And that's why the show is entitled Timeless
That's
Music.
right. Yeah.
Because the music back then, when you hear it today, it's always gonna bring you to a moment of nostalgia.
Yeah.
Something occurred, happened, that you did, whether you loved it or hated, happened when that song, that it brings that memory back when that song comes on.
That's right, Malik.
So much,
Yeah,
man.
man.
And that's why. Now I enjoy having you on the show.
Thank you.
I man, let me tell you, an hour goes by so
I
fast when
know.
you're chopping it up real good. And I do
Yeah.
apologize for going over it, but let me tell y'all, we have the Romance Me album as well as Come Play With Me album. Okay, and I will be giving these away. If you can DM me, we also will have autographed photos of the brother. On this one, he remind me of Jermaine Jackson on this one.
Everybody
He looks
always
like
say
Jermaine
that,
Jackson
man.
on
That's
this
crazy.
one right here, boy. There you go. And for the ladies, hey, call in. If you can tell me what was the name of the group in which he had lost in which he had lost the lead spot in. So the name of the group in which he did not get the lead spot, as well as, let's see here, what famous recording artist wrote 2 songs on his Remember Me album, right?
Come play with me.
Come Play With Me album.
Yeah.
Okay. So if y'all can tell me that, DM that to me, then y'all gonna get the CDs and some autographed copies of his photographs right there. Now, we are exchanging favors. I won't tell you the favor that we're exchanging, but Malik always barters. I take cash or barter, and I'm gonna bless my brother this evening with his very own autographed copy of my best-selling book, The
Yes.
Design Dating Purpose. All right. So it's already signed, my brother.
Thanks,
Thank you.
brother.
God bless you.
I love you, baby. I love you, man. We'll do it again next
Definitely.
time.
And
Thanks.
folks, I know that y'all was getting into it because I was getting into it too, man. But before we go, there is one other show that we have to spotlight. And what's that show, bro? All right, he's showing a book right now.
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
ahead, show it off,
Yeah,
bro.
Yep.
Show it off, bro. Show
Yeah,
it off.
man. We bring
Amen.
each other up.
And that's the way it's supposed to be,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Because like I said, I was sharing his stuff before I even decided to reach out to him, and he was so gracious enough to just say, "Bro, yeah, I'll do it," And it's a blessing because we're here together because we're supposed to be here
That's
together.
right.
Nobody else
Yep.
was supposed to be here, with the exception of his son that he brought in.
Yeah.
But we're gonna learn more about him later on. We'll probably have them both again on the show where they're gonna actually do something together because his son is very, very talented from what I hear
Yes.
vocally and
Yep.
instrumentally. So we definitely got to bring him back on the show.
Yep.
What we got to call him? Huh? Oh, Shalimar, Stevie.
Somebody.
No,
so-
that's not it. Yeah, Shalimar and Stevie Wonder.
Yeah,
yes,
that was
it was
it. That was
So
it.
yeah, so
They win.
so Christopher Wood,
Christopher.
Christopher Alexander. Yes, you were right,
Yes,
bro.
Christopher
You were right.
Alexander.
All right,
Bad
so
little
yeah.
man.
But I have one more. So if another person can guess, again, the group in which Grady did not get the lead singing role, as well as the famous singer who did 2 songs on his "Come Play with Me" album. All right, and now Grady, before we go, there was another show that you wanted to discuss, right?
You mean the one for September 4th?
Yeah, no, not that one, not the Solid Gold, because we did that one already.
Oh yeah.
You said another one that you were doing.
Oh, with the with the Platters. And,
Yes.
the Platters and Elvis, and the Platters, Elvis, Train. Oh no, I'm tripping. I'm doing a new show, kind of like Soul Train, but it's called On the Train with a New Gang, and I'll be one of the hosts. And Fawn Quinones, little sister of Shabadoo Quinones, and my boy Scorpio. We're gonna be the 3 hosts on the show. So we're gonna be recording the first show this Sunday out here in Vegas at this big mansion, Mansion 54.
Yes.
So look out for On the Train with a New Gang.
On the Train with a New
And
Gang.
nothing to do with Soul Train, but it's gonna be Soul Train on hype. And check out On the Train with a New Gang. Looking forward
That's what I'm
to
talking about.
on Fox TV. It's coming soon.
Yes,
Check it out.
I'm
Yes.
loving that. I'm loving that.
Yeah, man.
Thank you. And you know when that blow up, you
Yeah.
definitely got to come back on the
I
show.
will definitely. I'll bring
sure,
I'll bring
for
the
sure.
I'll bring the artists.
That's what
I'll
I'm
bring
talking
Scorpio and Fawn on the show as well.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
And that's how we do it on the Malik's True Show.
Yeah.
We always show solidarity. We don't just talk about it, y'all. We put it into action because, after all, we are all we got. And we must learn to continue to go out there and support our own, and our own, especially as it relates to them being local performers, y'all. You have been tuned in to the Malik's Truth Radio Show. You didn't have to hang in there, but you hung in there for an hour with your brother, and I thank you for it. God bless. Good night.
Love you.
Potato sugar,
Yes.
Django isn't a slave. Django is a free man, you understand? You can't treat him like any of the other niggas around here, cause he ain't like any of the other niggas around here. You got it?
Yearning for your validation. Validation. All in hopes I'm in the conversation. All in hopes. Pour so much of me into you. Can't believe I ain't never feel for me instead.